Hello everyone, this is Showtime 112. This is part 2 of our video about the Ethiopian-Eritrean War, which lasted between 1998 and 2000. In the first video, we gave a brief introduction and showed some of the air action that took place in the first phase of the war. Ethiopia relied on older Soviet aircraft such as MiG-29 and MiG-23, while Italian light trainer and attack aircraft Aermacchi MB-339 was the most important type for Eritrea. There was a period of relative peace between June 1998 and February 1999. Both sides used it to greatly increase their capability by acquiring Russian fourth-generation aircraft, Su-27 for Ethiopia and MiG-29 for Eritrea. Once the fighting started again in February 1999, Eritrean MiG-29s were the first ones to engage the enemy, as you could see in the previous video, but they achieved no success. Ethiopians responded by attempting to lure MiG-29s into a trap, using similar tactics they used in the Ogaden War against Somalia. MiG-21s were flying on high altitude, with Su-27s following them on lower altitude. On one occasion, an Eritrean MiG-29 managed to approach at low altitude and launch an R-27R for maximum range at the MiG-21. The Ethiopian pilot saw the missile detonate behind his aircraft, but it caused no damage. Ethiopian Sukhoi then detected the Eritrean MiG and launched no less than 2 R-27ERs and 2 R-27ETs. All of those missiles missed the low-flying MiG. On 21st of February, both sides again tried to lure the other's most capable fighter into a trap. Ethiopians again placed MiG-29 as a bait, with Su-27s covering them, while two Eritrean MiG-29s attempted a pincer attack. The Eritreans were now handicapped by a loss of a ground radar destroyed recently by Ethiopian artillery. Sepoys detected the Eritrean MiG-29 climbing towards the MiG-21 bait. One of the Su-27s launched an R-27ER at the MiG. The missile again missed and the MiG turned away, but the Ethiopian pilot pursued the MiG-29 and launched an R-27ET from about 10 kilometers. This time, the missile detonated and damaged the MiG, which was seen trailing a trace of smoke and losing altitude. The other MiG-29 pilot managed to approach one of the Ethiopian Sepoys within the range of his R-27R and launched a single missile. The Sepoy, however, was flying at supersonic speed at 6,000 meters and the missile couldn't catch it. Late February saw a successful Ethiopian offensive in which their ground forces regained control over most territory lost to Eritrea in 1998. During that period, Eritreans engaged their air force to the maximum, trying desperately to hold off the Ethiopian advance. On February 25th, Eritrean pilot Yonas Mizgina was scrambled from Asmara Air Base. His objective was an Ethiopian Su-27 on a combat air patrol north of Mekelle. He attempted to approach on a very low altitude, but he was nevertheless detected, and a Su-27 flown by Lieutenant Colonel Gebre Selassie was vectored to intercept it. Gebre Selassie launched two R-27ERs, and one of them scored a direct hit. The Eritrean MiG-29 crashed and the pilot was killed. Eritreans were now at a serious disadvantage. They lost one of their precious MiG-29s, but even more importantly, a qualified pilot. One of the remaining MiG-29 pilots, Dejen Ande Hishel, recalled later that he felt angry because the government pushed the pilots to fly again, repeating the same patterns without investigating what went wrong with the shoot-down of Misgina and how a similar incident could be avoided. The next day, 26 February 1999, Samuel Badme took off in his MiG-29 from Asmara and headed south. There are three versions of what exactly happened to him. The first version says that he was detected while still on low altitude and that Ethiopian Su-27, again flown by Lieutenant Colonel Selassie, was vectored to intercept it. Ethiopian pilot launched a single R-27ER from about 50 kilometers and hit the MiG-29. The second version says that Eritrean MiG-29 was first detected by Ethiopians by signals intelligence, when he reported having launched one of his missiles to his ground controller. The third version says that Lieutenant Colonel Selassie launched two R-27ERs, both of which missed. Badme then came within the range of his R-27R and launched one, but Selassie was able to launch one R-27ET, which hit first. The Eritrean pilot was killed. The high-speed engagement drained the fuel tanks of the Ethiopian Su-27, and Lieutenant Colonel Selassie returned to Mekelle Air Base with only 200 liters left. Now left with only two qualified MiG-29 pilots, Eritreans never again attempted to challenge Ethiopian air superiority. MiG-29s did fly, but they didn't try to attack the Ethiopian Suhois. Even worse, one of the pilots, Dejen Ande Hishel, was arrested after making complaints, and he spent the next 15 years in prison. Ethiopian fighter bombers and combat helicopters were now employed more freely, supporting ground troops and performing interdiction strikes. Some earlier reports say that one of the Ethiopian air victories was scored by a female pilot called Aster Tolosa. This was however disputed, and in his book from 2018 about the Ethiopian-Eritrean War, Tom Cooper doesn't mention that story. We can conclude that he was either proven wrong or not confirmed. There was another pause in fighting between June 1999 and May of 2000. During that time, Ethiopia acquired some more equipment. Interestingly for DCS World players, this included two Su-27Ts, which is the airplane that comes with the free package of the game. Little is known about their operations except that they were used for striking high-value targets at night. Eritreans claimed having shot them down multiple times, but this was proven to be wrong. Eventually, all of Eritrean troops were pushed out of Ethiopia. Not only that, Ethiopian troops even advanced well within Eritrea. Diplomatic efforts were then launched attempting to end the war. Eventually, this wasn't a complete victory for Ethiopia because the Badme region was given to Eritrea by the ruling of the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague, while some parts of southern Eritrea were given to Ethiopia. I hope you liked the video. Be sure to press the like button if you did. This is a great help for the channel. If you're able to support the channel on Patreon, that would be even greater help. Subscribe if you haven't already, and keep watching Showtime 112.